So today I just wanted to take a quick look at the 2016 film Uncaged, also known as The Beast Within, and this is also just I guess you could say more of a human type story, told from a more realistic perspective. You have the story of three young men, two who are cousins, and one who just kind of tags along, who just happens to be a friend of the two guys. But they're basically spending winter break at the two relatives' house. They're staying at an uncle's house who he has gone out for whatever unsaid reason, so they've got the house to themselves. This is also just kind of one of those stories where one of the boys realizes that he was a werewolf, which I guess supposedly that gene really doesn't come to light until the teenage years. So it's understood that these are high school boys, but for some reason it feels a lot more like they're in college. They seem like they're older, or maybe it's just that they seem to carry themselves like they're older. But one of the boys keeps sleepwalking, and he's waking up in all of these weird places. He really doesn't know what's going on. So in a sense, he attaches a GoPro camera to himself to kind of just document and find out and figure out what's going on while he's asleep, I guess. And he realizes that he attacked someone the night before, but he wasn't himself. His hands, when they are visible, are furry, and it's understood that he's a creature or a werewolf. There's also a sequence later on in the film where the cousin of that one boy is telling the other guy about the family history, which apparently they're, I guess, so well known. They have their own Wikipedia page because just some unknown event or murder that occurred. But I really like the way that sequence was told, because they have kind of like an animated graphic novel type look to it, or maybe kind of like an animatic type look to it. But I'm generally not a fan of the animated graphic novel look because everything's just so stiff. I don't like the unnatural movements, but this is very well effective. This is very well executed. It definitely holds my interest at the very least, and this is, like I said, an animation style that I don't generally care for, but it manages to hold my interest while telling the story. And then of course you've also got the whole subplot with the woman who also happens to have been at the, I guess you could say, the subway or the train platform where the attack happened. We discover that her husband is kind of like a gangster or a mobster, and she was having an extramarital affair. So you also have the threat of her husband kind of threatening these boys and just really trying to figure out what's what, because he doesn't know what the deal with his wife is, and he doesn't know why this kid even came around to begin with. So he's, I guess, just really trying to get to the bottom of everything, you know, which makes sense as a husband, or, you know, as a, I guess you could say, a married person. You would want to know what your partner is up to. But yeah, the story definitely does take an interesting twist. Unfortunately for the woman, she also winds up, she gets away from her husband, but she also winds up being converted into a werewolf. So unfortunately, she gets away from a very restrictive or suffocating life, and she basically has to take on a lifestyle of self-restriction in order to survive in her new life. I know I kind of spoiled a bit there, but I really didn't give too much about the story, but I really do like the interesting way that this was told, and in a sense, to me, this was very similar to a previous film that we discussed, When Animals Dream. So it seems like werewolf storytelling is taking a very different approach and just kind of trying to take on the whole, well, I didn't know I was a wolf type thing, or discovering you're a wolf. But it seems like the storylines are kind of morphing and changing into something different. So it's kind of interesting to see what direction potentially these types of stories are going to be taking. But so far, I actually am liking what is going on here. But that is pretty much all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to do a quick chit chat on that movie, but I will talk to you later.